BBC Radio Solent.
Now, emotionally, lockdown can be and has been a difficult time for all of us. The lack of community and peer support can be even more challenging for young people who are unsure of their sexuality or gender identity. The process of coming out, I imagine, must be much more hard when it's a lot harder to sit down in intimate circumstances with your friends and talk about it and talk about what's going on in your life. So there is support out there locally for youngsters. Joining me now is Kestral Gaian from Breakout Youth, which is a charity that offers a confidential support service for young people aged 11 to 21 who are LGBTQ or unsure of their sexuality or gender identity. Good morning, Kestral.
Good morning, Pat. How are you doing?
Yeah, very good. Nice to talk to you. Tell us about Breakout Youth and what it is you offer to young people.
It'd be a pleasure to. So Breakout Youth provides youth groups, support sessions, and a general program of positive engagement within the community to give LGBTQ plus young people opportunities to learn and grow and connect with each other and with their community at large.
And what sort of support does that come in? What form does it come in?
Well, in normal times, we run youth groups in Southampton, Andover, Basingstoke, Marchwood, Romsey, and on the Isle of Wight. So we're always looking to expand that to new areas across Hampshire. But of course, these aren't normal times. And during the COVID period, we've moved to, you were talking about virtual boat races. We run virtual sessions. We've now got an online approach to our delivery, providing secure and safe sessions that young people across the county can join via the internet on various nights of the week to talk to each other and to continue that learning.
We've never used the word virtual in more circumstances and more contexts than the last few months, have we, really? It's become ubiquitous. And tell us about some of the stories, Kestral, of the young people that come to you. What sort of things do you hear from them and what problems do you hear from them that you might be able to help with?
Well, absolutely. I think that the LGBTQ plus community is as diverse and different as the community outside of that. And we've seen a number of different people from different walks of life come to us. We've had people who are out of education, so young people who have not been at school for a number of reasons, and perhaps their sexual identity or their gender identity has been part of that, but we have supported to get back to school, working with the young people, the parents, the schools, social services and things to really help and support them get back to a positive place of learning and well-being. We support some of our older young people. As you said, we go up to the age of 21. We've supported people into work and training schemes, working with local colleges to provide spaces and clubs and safe spaces for their young people. So we have tried to work with young people not just to come to terms with their own identities, but also how that can fit into the world around them and the world outside of our groups and clubs.
I've said at the beginning of the introduction, that it's more difficult, obviously, when you can't go and see your friends. All right, we can social bubble a little bit now, as of tomorrow, the Prime Minister has told us. Have they been okay using it in an online fashion, the people who've come to you for help? Because in my imagination is that younger people are much more au fait with technology and communicating through the various different messaging apps and things we've got these days. That said, Kestral, I looked at my screen time, how much I've used on my phone the other day. I was thoroughly shocked for this last week. So maybe it isn't an age thing after all. But has it been useful, and have they made use of it easily, would you say?
I think that the people that have joined our groups have found the technology to not be a barrier. So I think with perhaps an older demographic of people, it would be difficult to teach how to use the technology first. Our young people, as you say, they're very quick to adapt to technology. That doesn't necessarily mean that the emotional barrier isn't still there. And of course, we've spent a lot of our time trying to make these sessions as accessible and easy to use as possible. But not everyone will want to join a video chat with people. And so we're still offering one-to-one emotional support sessions, either as video chats or over the phone. So people have a range of options with how to engage with us.
The conversation, the national conversation about systemic racism has been very much, it's been the forefront of the news agenda on everyone's mind for the last few weeks since what happened with George Floyd in America. In terms of homophobic abuse, another abuse that people who come to you might have suffered, where do you think we are, Kestral, in terms of our tolerance and acceptance of LGBTQ people?
I think that we have come a very, very long way, certainly from when I was a young person, but we still have a long way to go. And as with all of these things, we have to keep challenging our own assumptions and our own expectations on these things. Unfortunately, LGBTQ plus hate crime has actually risen year on year for the past 5 years nationally. That statistic is also true in Hampshire. So it's really important that we continue to educate ourselves. And I think that's where your listeners can really help, because as much as we are here as an organisation to support LGBTQ plus young people, we need as many allies out there in the world who are perhaps not LGBTQ plus, but will know someone who is LGBTQ plus, whether it's your children or grandchildren or their friends, to come out and say that you are a safe and supportive person, and to have links to places like Breakout on hand to be able to refer people to.
Kestral, really nice to talk to you this morning. As we're talking about people you would want to see on a plinth, people who should be above reproach and we're not going to have to worry about debating taking down in a few years' time, have you got a name to add to that list?
I do. I can think of no one finer than Alan Turing, not only a hero of modern computing and of the Second World War, but a real hero to LGBTQ plus people as an openly gay man who was persecuted for it at the time, but we have come to know and love as a huge contributor to our national history.
Kestral, really nice to talk to you. Thank you for coming on. Kestral Gaian from Breakout Youth, a charity that offers that confidential support service for young people unsure of their sexuality who already are LGBTQ or of their gender identity, aged between 11 and 21 years old.
BBC Radio Solent.